So guys, today we have Amitesh with us. It is so nice that he could take out time for us and just tell his experience. He has been in our place, he studied in TUHH, and now he's working full-time as a professional. Amitesh, thanks for joining us. Tell us something about your story.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot. Because I remember when I was a student, a lot of videos on YouTube, that time it was not available at all. We were only left with emails or phones. So it's a really big opportunity for the students, and really it will be really helpful for all the students who is going to come, who is studying already here. So thanks a lot for doing all these things.
Thank you.
As he said, my name is Amitesh. I was born and brought up in Bihar, India. I studied my bachelor in engineering from Manipal University, Karnataka, and then I joined Tata Consultancy Services in supply chain management. I worked there for 2 years from 2010 till 2012 in SAP APO module. And then I decided to pursue masters in Germany. The sole reason to do masters in Germany was that point of time was the fees, because I saw there was so much investment in US and different countries, but in Germany we had, I think even now we don't have fees at all, and that motivated me. And also I was working in SAP, and SAP is coming from Germany, Waldorf, so it was the sole motivational point for me to join or to come to Germany. And then I decided with some of my colleagues who was already working with me that point of time in TCS. We came together in 2012 September, and we were around 40 students from different states, mostly from Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Bihar, UP. Yeah, it was international production management, but basically I can say it was Indian production management.
Did you also think of applying to other universities, or what's your main focus that I want to study in TUHH in this IPM course?
I searched 2 universities. One was in Berlin, TU Berlin, which had a course Global Production Engineering. But I was mostly focusing on supply chain management. So I saw this course, International Production Management. I went through the contents of that, and I saw ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So this International Production Management course had mechanical stuff and management stuff. So the ERP was only the 5-credit subject. So it was difficult to go into completely MBA, because even if you go to the MBA colleges, you have to pay a lot of fees.
Yeah.
So I had to decide, okay, I'll study mechanical a little bit and management, and later I want to go through SAP. How, I don't know that point of time.
Okay.
So I decided to come here. I applied only TUHH Hamburg, and I got it, fortunately. If I define it as supply chain management, it's a flow of material or services from the point of origin to the point of consumption. So this is a big process which should be mapped in a software. You cannot manage or manipulate it on an Excel sheet. So you need a software, ERP software, which manages production, procurement, distribution, accounting, finance, human resource. So all these modules are mapped in a software, and ERP is a platform which gives so many software like SAP, Oracle. So SAP is one of the largest vendors, which provide all the solution of these modules.
Supply chain management.
So you can study supply chain and become a demand planner. You need not be a SAP consultant, but if you want to work in a software, you have to learn SAP. How it is mapped in a system.
What was the least grade with which you could enter this course?
That time 8.3 CG I had in Manipal University. But it's not only about the grades. I think it all depends on the work experience. It also depends on the motivation letter. That plays a huge role in Germany, I think. And your CV and the project of what you do. Even I have heard student who had 9 CGPA got rejection, and one who had 7.2 or 7 got admitted. So it's not only one particular thing which gives you the admission here. It's the complete set of package. So I always say students who have lesser grades do not need to worry. I mean, you can develop your project experience, work experience, and you can apply with a good motivation letter. In my field, IT, they say you need not learn German or speak German, but I feel 90% of the companies expect you to speak, because you work with the customer small scale. And the young people in Germany, they do speak English, but if you go to the old people or the old customer, if you go to the company, most of the people are old. They know they can understand, but they are not familiar, they are not okay speaking English. So it's always recommended, must to have German at least I mean, not I can I should not tell the level, but at least you should speak.
Yeah.
It's very important. I mean, even you have the bad grades, you have good German. I have seen my friends; they are excelling.
That's really nice to know, because I also talked to somebody and he said as soon as you're in this region, dark region, this Deutschland, Austria, and
Switzerland,
Switzerland, you need to have good German if you want to go into management side.
Yes.
Otherwise, it just doesn't work.
And also, one of the reasons which I thought of that point of time was the rate of return.
Yeah.
We think a lot about it, because when we go to US investing 30 lakhs, I think we are pretty sure we'll get a job. But when we come to Germany with 10,000 or 15,000 euros, 10 lakhs, we are not sure, to be honest, because you have German language, you have so many other stuff, cultural differences, job opportunities. So it was not so sure. So the rate of return, even if you lose, what you are going to lose.
Okay.
You can do a student job, you can still manage. So
Yeah.
these mathematics came into picture. It's very important, to be honest.
Yeah.
Passion is important. I mean, it's really important.
Yeah.
But you see all those things also. I mean, on the paper, that how much you are investing, what is the return, what is the plan B.
Yeah.
So
Of course, that's important. I mean, otherwise, it's just foolish to just go into somewhere and put all your eggs in one basket, and if just
you
breaks,
don't,
breaks.
you don't have a campus.
Yeah.
You know already, so you need to apply, you need to plan. So it's different than the other countries. So you have to be careful with the money, because it's really important. Because I see most of the students are asking how much you are paid. The money comes first, even before the course.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I trust that, honestly, because sometimes I'd see these crazy private universities, even in Germany, they're taking 4,000 to 5,000 euros per semester. Now you're studying in the UHH, like at this point of our story. And what was the first major struggles that you had here, like in the course, internship, finding a student job, and things like that?
When we came September, I think we were almost 30 to 40 students, and it was most of the time we were studying together in a group in A building where we are sitting now, and we started discussing how to find a part-time job. It was really difficult, but we had a lot of opportunities like DV job, student job, part-time jobs. Somehow we wanted to do something which relate to our content, so that we can build our profile. So that it was a little difficult, but suddenly then comes the German. We should learn German, so we were going to German classes also. During the first semester, my personal experience, because I had around 8 or 10 grades in the first semester, because I was completely screwed up. I had to go to India because of my sister's marriage.
Okay.
And then when I came back March, I was left with 10 credits, and it was really difficult that time. So I planned, okay, in the next 4 months I must make sure that I have 50 credits so that I can make up. So in the second semester I started planning for student arbeit. And then I approached to HRMO department, if you're aware.
Yeah, Professor Ringle.
Professor Ringle, he was my student arbeit professor, thesis professor. And then I approached him asking for SAP project, and then he said, yes, we have. And then I started my student arbeit after February and finished 5 or 7 extra subjects, so that I made sure that in September I had 66, 70 credits. So the important point is you should plan well before, because even if you want to plan for student arbeit, it's a 3 months thing, but it takes 6 or 7 months. You have to plan which department you need to go. You go to approach professor, you get appointment, it takes long time. So if you want to start in May, plan January. I mean, Germans are really famous for their planning.
Yeah.
So you have to plan early, well in advance, to achieve your goals. So that was the biggest thing which I learned early during that period, that for internship also, if you want to start next year March, you should be ready with your applications 6 months before. They take a lot of time. So the plan was to finish the course in 3 semesters, because we had 4 semesters.
Okay.
And we don't have compulsory internship, so we need to manage this internship within this course frame, so that the money what we have, we can, manage those things, manage the money during the period. So most of us finished the courses in 3 semesters, and then planned for internship 1 semester ahead. Fortunately, many of us found the internship. And yes, once you are into the company, the internship, we are very known for the good impression,
Yeah.
We make good impression, and then finally
Smart
we get the
people.
thesis.
Yeah.
And then, once you are there for 6 or 8 months, I think no need to explain further if you are.
Yeah, I mean, then the company is happy to take you afterwards
Yes,
too.
that's the important. I mean, many students, so they feel they are graduating from the university and they want a job. It's really difficult here, because the trust factor is very important here. they cannot trust you immediately on a one interview. I feel that's my experience. Most of us, 70 or 80% who got job, they did internship here 1st, then the thesis in the same company mostly, and they finally get converted. There are few students who got job directly. I can connect you to them also.
Yeah,
but most of them are like that in that process. So the most important point is the internship, I feel. How to get it. I mean, there are a lot of internship you can see on this job portal, Stepstone, Indeed. So for the freshers, I feel GET, the graduate engineer training.
Okay.
There are a lot of graduate engineer training programs coming. Every now and then you can see for freshers. You don't need experience. If you have 0 to 2 years of experience, that's well and good. I'm talking about supply chain.
Okay.
So you can apply for that with a good CV, motivation letter, with project work if you have in the university. And also if you have experience, well and good. So there are a lot of opportunities for the GET programs.
Okay.
There are a lot, and most of them get good paid also in the big companies.
Okay. So Amitesh, what would you say? Like, should students really hustle through the whole masters completed in 4 semesters, or they should like take some time, do an internship in between the masters, and I don't know, take 5 or 6 semesters and then complete it so that it's better for the job?
It comes both ways. I mean, when you know that you are doing some project in university, and you need some time to finish it, and it's better for your job prospect, do it. It's recommended. But if you are only extending your course because you are doing some part-time job and you are getting paid, and you are fine with it, everything is going fine, one should not live in that horizon because it will delay the course. I have seen people doing that, and they take 3 years, 4 years, and then it doesn't make sense. If you are building a profile with project, well and good, but otherwise, it's not recommended.
Yeah, I mean, if you're working in some, I don't know, some restaurant or something else, I mean, then it's completely stupid to just, extend your course because it's not adding up to anything.
You will not write in your CV anyway.
So, would you say, is it easy? So, what you're essentially saying is that students should already know in their masters in which direction they want to go to.
Yes, in the first semester, I think they should plan, they should decide in which way they are going.
Okay.
I mean, when I came personally, I was not thinking to join SAP, to be honest. We came from TCS, we thought of going to mechanical, but when I came, I saw the opportunity that it's a huge demand here, and that's the best thing I can do. So grab the opportunity. I mean, and we had SAP system in university, so I had that experience. So you have maybe in different fields, you can approach to different professors. So you should approach to the professor of the specific department well and before to decide in which way you are going. At my point of time, the production department was completely full. I mean, there were so many students going, and there were very less projects. So even for getting a student arbeit, it took a lot of time. So sometimes you need to wait, and sometimes you need to change your, what you want to do. So you need to change your department sometimes. So it's completely fine. Rather than waiting for a year to get what you want, it's better to take what is required right now, I think.
It could be, I mean, and if you have enough motivation, you can always find ways to change it afterwards to like build some experience in other fields, and then you can always just shift into that side.
Yes.
Now, what would you say, which are some good companies for the people who are interested in supply chain management or the management side in general? Which companies they should look forward to or look up to? Like, these companies are good, which you can aim to.
For a student who is graduating from the TU, they have, I believe, either no experience or some 1 or 2 years of experience. I feel the best company would be the big companies, for example, Daimler, Continental, Bosch, Siemens. They have a lot of graduate engineer training programs for supply chain management, logistics. So I believe the big companies give you a better chance compared to small companies, because small companies do not invest so much in the freshers, and you have better chances in getting that. I'm not telling that's easy, but it's a better than the small scale companies.
So I was wondering, like, let's just go through some questions here and see. So Karan Nigudkar asks, apart from that, what is the market demand currently, like how is the job availability after a 2 years course?
In every company, you have supply chain. If you think of any product, be it Apple or be it anything, you have the supply chain. The product is being manufactured and it is being sold. So you have the demand every time. I told that SAP is just a platform or a software which map this process. During the last few years, we are seeing a lot of changes in digital world. So SAP and every ERP software is changing a lot. So you cannot say the person who is experienced will be working in the same way what he was doing in the previous years.
Okay.
So I have to change every year. Right now SAP has a new version, SAP HANA S4 is coming. Nobody knows what it is. So even me or many SAP people are learning that. Even the freshers, they can start with SAP HANA from the scratch, and the companies are investing a lot on SAP HANA graduate engineer training.
Okay.
So you have a lot of chances after graduating from here, but provided you build your profile in that direction. If you are doing some design in the university and you are applying for a supply chain course, that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So you have to go in that step. Okay, you want to do supply chain job, then you build your profile in university, do some project related to supply chain, and then apply internship for the supply chain or graduate engineer training.
Okay.
Then you have better chances.
So we are still on a student visa. How does things change afterwards? Like you're on a student visa, then for the blue card, how does this whole thing work?
Yes, you have finished your masters and you are looking for internship or a job. Then you have your student visa, for example, expiring in 2 months or 3 months. When you are finished with your masters, then you get a job search visa for 1 year, 6 months. And during that job search visa, you're allowed to work indefinitely in whatever profile or do internship, whatever you can do. If you get a job contract related to your studies, then you get a blue card.
Okay.
And if your work contract is unlimited, you get blue card for 4 years.
Okay.
And if the work contract is limited, for example, 1 year contract, then you get blue card for 1 year plus 3 months. So once you have this blue card or normal residence permit, some gets normal residence permit because blue card has some prerequisites. I mean, you should have studied similar courses.
And also, like, you need to have this
pay band of some
40,000 or
42,000 for the engineers. So once you fulfill all this, then you get the blue card. Otherwise, normal residence permit, which hardly makes any difference, I feel. Once you have this blue card for 21 months, you can go for permanent residency. And after holding permanent residency for 3 years, I think you are eligible for apply for the
citizenship.
When you have blue card for 21 months,
21
you apply
months.
for PR.
Okay.
Right? And when you have stayed in Germany for 6 years, I think, or 7 years, and you have paid 5 years of the social contributions, then you are eligible to apply for a passport.
Okay.
For a student who have already done 2 years of studies here, and then they have worked for 4 years, I think, then they count the study period as half, So if I have done 2 years studies, 1 year internship and thesis in a company, so the total 3 years becomes 1.5 years.
Okay.
And if I have worked 4 years in a company, proper work, then they count everything and they see if I have crossed 5-year mark or 6-year mark, then they can ask you to apply for a Rise Pass.
That's really nice to know. Now most of the things are cleared. We were just in this gray area. We still don't know. We still didn't know because we didn't talk to anybody who has been through the process. Aditya Singh is asking, what is supply chain management and what does it do? You have already told us.
I will recommend one book of supply chain management, Michael H. Hugo's. He has written a very good book. It's very old, but you can find in TUH's library also.
Okay.
If you are interested, please take that book. It's a really nice small book with a very good story to understand the supply chain. Essentials of Supply Chain Management by Michael H. Hugo's. It's a very generic question. I think it depends on the experience and many other factors. But if you see doing masters and then going for a job, a student can expect anything between 40 to 50 if he or she is a fresher. And if he has experience, then it depends. Some of the companies do pay more than 50, 55 for freshers also, depending on how big they are, what is their company's strategy. They will not negotiate a lot, and you are not supposed to negotiate in the beginning because you are not the expert right now. once you are in the company in 1 to 3 years, if you are doing good, don't worry, you'll be paid more.
Okay. So Amitesh, how was it like during the job interview? Like, do they already start talking about the how much money you will get paid, or do they tell you afterwards? Like, how does it function? How was
Generally,
it
when
for
you do internship,
Mhm.
they are happy. They'll be interested to offer you for a job even before you finish your internship. I mean, 2-3 months before, and you are clever enough to how to initiate that topic with your boss. So once you start this, then he comes, have a session with all those topics, what you expect, what they expect, and when they are going to hire you, HR will ask you definitely, what do you expect?
Okay. So what do you expect? If you then what is a good number? Like how should we say what do we expect?
That depends on the profile what you are applying. You have this Google, I don't remember the name, where you can see the salary, the range.
There's this Glassdoor.
Glassdoor, you can see
yeah.
all those figures, and also you can talk to the friends, but you cannot say I need 80 or I need 85. It's something between 40, 50 or 55 maximum in this range. Maybe one to lesser side, but one 2000 upper, but I don't think that makes so much sense after graduating. I mean, we are students, we are working 600 euros job per month, and if you are getting 2000, it's a big thing.
Yeah, I understand. I want to go in manufacturing field. Which course will be better for me? Should I go with mechanical itself or industrial or any other course? Please help me, I'm confused. Aman Gulati.
Okay, don't get confused. Coming from industrial background, so I will give more focus on industrial engineering because it widens your scope. You can go in mechanical ground also, in production also. So I believe here we have a lot of industrial engineering plus management courses also. So it will make more sense and it will be better to go for industrial courses.
Bharat, I visited that website, and while searching a management university for me, I've come across too many of them. I have a very important query regarding this. While I was browsing the course details of the university, they have mentioned that there is 1 semester abroad for bachelor's degree. The students who are international, they really don't fall into this category as far as I know.
Yes.
That like if you already have done your bachelor in some other country and you're coming to Germany just again like for a foreign master's, so I don't think that should be an issue
for students who are coming from India. I think it's not a mandatory.
Yeah, it's definitely not necessary. For example, I'm studying this international management engineering. I have applied for South Korea for the 3rd semester, and I might go there if I get a acceptance letter from TU. But it's not mandatory. If you have already studied, or if you've already done your bachelor's in some other country, then it's completely fine if you're just spending your whole master's in one country like Germany. I have done MSc in mathematics. Can I do masters in supply chain management? Shiv Kumar Gupta is asking.
He can do, but provided he has some background related to that, either the project work. If he simply applies from MSc mathematics to supply chain, I think they will not accept.
Yeah, because you also have these prerequisites that you have to fulfill. Like you need to have, 24 ECTS in management courses, these many ECTS in maths, these many in some other fields. So I think the best approach would be that you go through the universities and you find out if the prerequisites that the university is asking for, if you fulfill them or not. If you don't, then I don't think it makes sense. It's rather better that you go for some internships or something. You try to find your way into a company so that you have something to write in your motivation letter or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Do students have the opportunity after doing this master's in management course to also go in like pure management sides? Like, you two guys, you went to supply chain management. Is there also like better opportunities or better entry or easier entry to fields like this corporate management or sales or marketing or others?
There are opportunities, but as I said, then comes the German. You should be really fluent.
Okay.
You should be as fluent as the locals because you speak most of the time. For example, if I'm working with SAP, I do speak 50% with the people, and sometimes I work in the system. But for a corporate guy, if you're going for management, completely management, then you have to talk completely in German most of the time. You should be able to present everything. So there are chances, but it may be a little bit difficult than the way what I said. But if you are good in German, it's completely fine.
Yeah, because I went to this event too, and there were these people from McKinsey, then from Hayes, and from four different from big companies. There were representatives who were taking questions. So I was the only brown guy in the room. Everybody else was German because the event was in German. So in the end, I was just asking. Like I asked them. I think the most weirdest question. I was like, how is it for foreign students who are doing a master's program here? Is it also possible for them to get into like management consulting and like sales and stuff? And they were like, if you don't speak German as well as a native speaker, you can forget it. This is really important. If you don't know German and you want to go into management side, it can be very, very troublesome. So during your masters, take the time out, build up your profile like Amitesh told you, and also do focus on German. That is very important. In the end, Amitesh, what would you say? What suggestions or what tips would you like to give the students who are doing their masters or are done with their master or who are going to start their masters?
The most important four-letter word is plan. You have to plan completely. Not to lose your time, money, everything. Plan well and before. When you are going to come here, when you are going to finish your masters, when you are going to apply for internship, when you are going to apply for a job. So these things really matter. That's what we experienced in our batch, because when you set the timeline, then okay, by this time I should finish this. Because in Germany, everything is in process, everything is planned. Nothing will come out of a sudden, So you have to apply everything well in advance. Even for a student project, which seems very small, but you need to go to the professor, take an appointment. You need to have the right topic, what interests you. And then it takes a lot of time. So the most important thing I feel, plan well and before, approach the professor well and before, apply well and before, then where you're lagging, you can correct it by yourself.
So guys, this was the whole interview. I guess now you have better information about supply chain management, the general management topics, the things that you can do after your masters in Germany and so on. Amitesh, thank you so much for your time. That would really help the students afterwards. And whoever is watching this video, please feel free to share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, or whatever questions you have, comment it down and we can try to respond to them.
Yeah, sure. Whatever questions you have, you can write it down and then I'll try to answer whenever I see it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Amitesh.
No problem,
it's really tough to find people, who take out the time on a Sunday morning. It's 9 o'clock right now. We would be in the bed sleeping or something, at least I. But thank you so much that you took out this time for us, and it will really it will stay online forever, and it is going to keep helping people, whoever watches it.
It's my pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Amitesh.